So, today I wanted to talk about why I talk to an AI every single day. So, welcome to Quiet Chaos, where I share quiet moments and loud thoughts, and I'm cordially inviting you into my buzzing mind while life happens in the background. So, I am currently eating my yogurt. This was supposed to be for lunch, but I was so tired that I just couldn't. I just had to go to the sleeping pod during lunch. So, now it's become my dinner, and this is frozen yogurt that I made with my boyfriend over the weekend. It's Greek yogurt mixed with blueberries and strawberries, and we froze it, and I topped it with some bananas and granola, and the secret ingredient is a special little pistachio sauce that adds a lot of flavor to it. And we love this concoction, and yeah, and I'm just enjoying it for dinner. And at this point I am actually looking through my conversation with ChatGPT and just digesting it and talking to it, and this really just inspired this whole rambling session. So yeah, I realized it's this kind of usual. I'm not sure if you guys do it, daily habit. I'm not sure from when I just started using and talking to ChatGPT every single day. And yeah, I've been reflecting and thinking why is that so? And I just thought that it would be a nice little kind of food for thought, or just something to ramble about. And I think one of the most important thing this habit does for me, or why this became a habit, is that it helps me so much with organizing my thoughts. I'm someone who thinks so much. My mind is so busy. I look so calm on the outside, but so much is happening inside my brain. You know the meme where the dog is inside a burning fire? Maybe I'll insert a picture if I remember. But basically, the dog in a burning room, or that's kind of my vibe. So, yeah, I think a lot. Be it, for example, when it came to dating, online dating advice, I can talk to GPT about it. Or kickstarting this channel, I definitely talk to GPT about it. Or even when I started doubting, I only recently graduated from university, and starting to work and all. And when I do my small talk or lunch break, so many of my seniors and colleagues give such good advice when it comes to doubting. But sometimes the conversation doesn't go deep enough, or they're just small little things that I'm hey, I need to remember. I put it in my notes app, my reminders app, and I just never follow up. And sometimes it's good when I can talk to GPT, let it kind of structure my thoughts, and just be hey, this is how I should proceed, how I should move forward. And yeah, so that's just all the scenarios and examples of how I use GPT to organize my thoughts. And especially in this day and age where we are flooded with so many information from online or offline interactions, it's just so helpful to have this tool. Just when I whip out my phone, I can just use it and talk to it, and it gives me a response right away. And there's so much value in this. Sometimes when I overthink and I spiral my thoughts, it's kind of tough. Honestly, it's kind of tough. But I think that's something that I see value in, because I find that because I think so much, it has a bit of self-awareness and understanding to the world. But you have to actively think about things, I feel, to add meaning to these thoughts. And I think having AI to be able to organize them for me just help me better understand myself. And it's when I face problems, I am my first line of defense, right? I need to digest it, and AI is just this tool that helps me with doing that. And yeah, so that's that. And secondly, I think one interesting thing it does, or actually one given thing, actually not interesting, I think it's basically given, is that it adds knowledge to our lives. Yeah, it answers our questions, right? And it just adds knowledge. But it's not just when you're doing a paper for school and you need it to give you the answer. And small little moments in life. For example, the other day I was having lunch with my boyfriend, and he just casually mentioned that, do you know broccoli is also a flower? If you don't harvest it at the right time or something, it becomes a flower and we can't eat it anymore. And I was so mind blown, because broccoli is probably my favorite vegetables, and I just never knew about this thing. So I immediately put up my phone and searched it up. I was wow, fun fact. And or maybe the other day I was just scrolling on Instagram, and I saw people posting about girlfriend boyfriend day, and I was wait, what is this thing? So I tried to find the origin, and then it just led to this whole conversation about how all these days could also be a social movement, or a marketing tactic, that kind of stuff. So that was pretty interesting. And what else? Oh, right now I'm currently binging The Office, the sitcom, and I'm on the final season. I love it. And I remember clearly when Pam had her second child on the show, I was wait, she actually looks really pregnant. For reals. When she had her first kid, it doesn't look as real. So I put out ChatGPT, and I was is it true that Pam was actually pregnant in real life during her second pregnancy in the show? And the answer is yes. So that was a little fun fact. So I think as you live life, there's just so many random questions that pop up throughout the day, and now I can just so easily get answers. And now you can be like the person on the dinner table that just have the most random fun facts that every time when I hang out with people like that, they're just so fun to be with and so interesting to talk to. And now maybe all of us can easily become one of them and just have more fun conversations. And honestly, this just allows us to better understand the world, which is a pretty beautiful feeling, honestly. And other than light-hearted conversation and just small talk, like the example about Pam and the pregnancy, I think if you think a bit further, it honestly gets pretty deep, like about pregnancy and how it affects a woman's body and how the media might not be always accurately portraying how it could be in real life. Like if you compare her first pregnancy on the show and a second pregnancy, like if you were to rely on the media to fully tell you how it is, how certain phases of life would be like, that's just not right. And I don't know, just looking that up on ChatGPT just made me thought of that as well. So yeah, there's just another scenario as to a reason why I talk to an AI every single day. And last but not least, I think this is a pretty important one as well, is that ChatGPT really improves my efficiency, like especially at work. So as someone who's pretty fresh into the workforce, I've worked with a couple different type of bosses. So sometimes you get the ones that tells you the big picture, why we need to do this thing and the meaning behind that, and then he goes deep into, okay, so because of all that, there's this problem on this slide number 7, please change this value, change that graphic to better portray something or to send the right message. And that's great. I like knowing why I'm doing this thing and how exactly to do it. But sometimes you don't really get that in a boss. The boss might only tell you the big picture and you need to get there yourself. Or they only tell you specifically what to change. So you do it, but you don't really know why you're doing it. And especially in the case where the bosses only talk about the big picture, it's just so helpful to have ChatGPT. Because I can put in all the ideas he mentions and all the thoughts I have just on top of his ideas and actually try to create a concrete plan as to how to achieve that. And it's definitely not like a one-time Q&A. You give it the question and gives it the answer, and that's that's what could be used and delivered. There's just no. It's actually a whole conversation. Working with AI, it's back and forth. I'm just treating it literally like a colleague and just talking to it and fine-tuning the approach and stuff. And yeah, it's just improved my efficiency so much. Helps me organize my thoughts and come up with a concrete plan. And in this case, I also don't think my job is taken away from AI, but I can do so much more with it. And a good example would be if I were to give the prompt, the exact thing I need to do, and expect the first answer to be what can be used. That's just rarely the case. But especially when it comes to something creative, as compared to I put in all of my unfiltered thoughts, typos and just no logic, no links or anything, and I put it in and ask it to organize it, give suggestions and everything. The answer is just so much better. So there's just a whole lot that AI can do for me, and a whole lot that it can't do, and working hand in hand just improves my efficiency so much. And yeah, so that's about the 3 main reasons why I find myself talking to AI every day. It organizes my thoughts, it adds knowledge and fun little conversation to my life, and it really, really improves my efficiency. And I definitely see myself continuing this habit. And honestly, as a pretty independent introvert with such a buzzing brain, I hope it can continue, for real, to keep me sane and organized. But I definitely need to make sure that I talk to my family, my friends, my peers, my partner, and all that, or even this channel now. Make sure that I have, as human, I need social interactions. So I have people to, ramble to and have these conversations with. I think it also just makes the relationship a whole lot deeper and just adds a lot of value and just a lot more meaningful conversations. And also, so I don't lose the human touch. And I think that's all actually for my ramble on today's topic. And yeah, so at this point I'm definitely not talking to ChatGPT anymore, as I'm munching the last bits of my yogurt. I'm probably watching some sort of long form YouTube video. I think that's definitely something I can talk about in the next video, which is that I really just love long form video over short form video. Still long form girly, love it, and that's just a whole lot. I can deep dive into that because I remember having this conversation with my colleagues. Do I scroll certain apps, or I'm actually no. On a day to day, I really prefer my long form content. And as I have my dinner at this point, I'm probably watching some sort of long form content. And yeah, so that's a teaser. Probably the next video, I will talk a bit more about that and just so many things in my head, so many things I want to share, so many little moments of my life I want to record, and hopefully this becomes like a little safe space, a little avenue for me to talk to more people, just share and just organize my thoughts and put my thoughts out there and just ramble. Um, yeah, so that's that, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Do you talk to an AI every single day? Am I the only one? I'm not quite sure, but if you've listened up to this point, thank you so much for listening. And ooh, yes, I'm adding pistachio because, okay, this is all over the place. Okay, but circling back to this yogurt, I need a good crunch to yogurt ratio when it comes to enjoying a frozen yogurt. And I clearly did not put enough of my, what's that called? Granola, which is why I'm like adding pistachio, which is probably my favorite nut. So, anyways, I'm just adding and enjoying the froyo. Anyways, that's it for this video, and this is actually probably my third or fourth time filming this voiceover because I just can't seem to get it to work. Like, it keeps getting deleted, or I forget to end it, forget to save it and all that. So hopefully this is the last time I am doing this voiceover for this. And like in the game plan, I was hoping that the moment I finish talking xoxo, the moment I finish my yogurt, but seems like after 3-4 times of doing this, I just speak faster and faster, or the flow hopefully is getting more and more natural. Or at this point, maybe I'm just dragging the time out. I'm not quite sure, but seems like maybe I have to fast forward the video a bit, and maybe the timing wouldn't match. But oh well. Anyways, that's it for my ramble. Diaries of my first episode of Quiet Chaos. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you. Bye bye.